Hello, coloring community. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy and having a great time. I know I am. I hope you guys, today we will be coloring out of this new Color in Heaven issue. This is the brand new one. It is called Color in Heaven Mermaid Special. This is issue 126. I am on subscription, so this is part of my subscription. I get one every month. I am on the 3 month subscription because it was just easier for me. You end up paying the same amount that you would for a yearly one, but I can't do like that big of a payment all at once. So I hope everybody is like understanding of that. So it is Mermaid. So I know that there have been some flip throughs of this book. I'm hoping that I don't get a blue screen today like I did last time when we did a stream during the finished pages. So I have decided that we are doing this beautiful one, and this one is by Christine Karen. I love Christine Karen. I particularly like this one because I get two mermaids in one image. So this is the one that we are doing. We are doing a Christine Karen one. I have decided to make them one redhead and then one up. My niece is always saying how she likes purple hair, but I don't really think that works very well. So we are doing redheaded mermaids. This one is called Watermelon. Sorry, I'm just looking at my ladybug. Where's my pure reds? Where are my reds? Look at my reds. Oh, a whole lot of reds in this. I have a lot of pinkish reds. So you know what we'll do? We'll use the red for. Oh, hello to the one person in here. What we'll do? We'll use the reds from my whole lines. Yeah, we're gonna use some pastels in this too today. So we're gonna do a couple of different pictures today. So we're gonna do a couple of different reds in here. I think this is rose. Hold on a second. I gotta get something from my closet because I'm out of the color. I forgot to replace it last night. Oh man, did they do the garden well? Sorry about that, guys. The colors, it's not easy to access. So what we will do is we will grab another set. I have grabbed another set with a lot of pretty colors. I normally don't bring this set out because this set is even a little more pricier than the other sets. I don't bring this out too often. So this is a really nice, these are really nice colors. And I like them. They're really good. And now what these are is Derwent Pro colors. So I'm going to do this in red. These were a gift to me, so. Someone asked me, what do I do with things I don't like? Well, first of all, I try to use up what I don't like first. One thing I like about these is they do really well. The thing about the Pro Colors is they do well on a lot of paper. They don't do well on glossy paper. A lot of colored pencils do not do well on like glossy paper, what I call like colored paper. Some pencils do well in everything, but not everything. Like even my Prismas don't do well in everything. So no, I don't color like the normal colorist, which is fine, I think, because that's what my area is really. I love coloring different colors and things like that. Hi, Bibla. Hi, Robin. How are you? Yes, we're starting Mermaid off with this one, the new Color in Heaven Mermaid Special. And I guess this could be considered a, what do you call it? A color your hoard picture because. And what happens is, I've been busy, you know. I got a new dental plan, so that's always fun. And it was expensive to get a new one, too. I had lost my old one. So it's basically all mermaid stuff. There's different groups doing different little challenges in it. I know Monarch is doing something over with it. Like they're sponsoring a contest, but you have to color images from their artists and buy the pictures. So through the Etsy link. And some of the stuff is a little on the pricey side, in my opinion. I did buy the pack that Denny did for like 5 images, which I thought was worth it because it was 5 images of really nice mermaids. You know, she does a really nice job. I'll show you what I'm working on in a second. So this is one of the things that Ren did, Deng Cine did from her 5. This is one of her. So it depends. Like some people sell them, but they're not part of the Monarch group. The people that are part of that, they have different challenges and there's different subs. So mermaids basically, mermaids in May, basically. So this is one that I've been working on, and I bought this as part of a 5-pack. It basically cost me a little under $4 for it. But you know, you start paying for them like $4 here, $3 here, you know, and then it starts to add up. I know Deborah Mueller has a lot of mermaids. She had a book that I was thinking about buying called Mermaids All Year Long. But even that gets, you know. I started to buy a lot of my Deborah Mueller books online just because I don't really have what's called practical space, and I started reading again a lot. Oh, I finished Dorian Gray for the horror book club we met on Thursday, which was a lot of fun. It was nice to be in a different book club with a little bit different attitude. The next book that I'm currently reading, Carrie, right now by Stephen King. Yes. So you know, that book, you know, was and I actually didn't realize that this was Stephen King's first novel, and he published it in 1974. These are what I call pro colors. I haven't decided if we're going to make this blue or not. Now, some people say I should color it the color of the sea, but I'm like, would you consider this image a grayscale? Yes. This is what I consider a grayscale image. And what I like about these Color in Heaven books, especially books like this, when they do the Mermaid special, in the old days they used to do one artist, but this one has at least there's 48 and there's at least 6 artists in here. I mean, I think Christine Karen, you got Christine Karen in here, Jana Prazavina. Just to show you guys some of what's in here. I think they have some Lindsay Archer here. Daria Krakosoy. This is just some of what's in here. A lot of these images I've seen in their other books. Mildred Deschaux, I have never seen that image, so that just shows you some of what's in here. When I first heard they were doing this image, and I saw this image, I knew when I got it that this was going to be the first one. The gardener's here, he's doing our lawn, so my mother's outside, so if you hear some talking, and then I'm also doing some laundry. I've already done one load, but the second load is in there, so now there's 2 loads going on. One is in the washer, one is in the dryer, so there's all that going on too. So I like coloring. But the other day, when I went to Blix, I was stunned by how much a Holbein to buy another Holbein pencil cost. Now they're about $3. They were only like 2 something a few weeks ago. Who has been thinking that this inflation is just driving us insane? I know I'm not going to be able to buy as many pencils as I was able to buy before. And that kind of makes me sad because now that means I might go into more budget-friendly options. But a lot of my budget-friendly pencils are not being sold right now, or they're currently sold out. So, my goal is always use what I have. That's why sometimes you'll see me go to things like this. What has happened is I've gotten back into reading books. In the book clubs, they've been circulating Callie Hart's Quicksilver. So, I know it's like nice to be able to do that. And here it's so weird the weather. Like in the mornings, it'll be really cold where I live, and then it'll be really hot in the afternoons. Then it gets a little colder at night. So I was thinking I'm going to make this purple. I'm going to make her blonde and pink. That's one way to do it. I did it just by whatever color the case came in. So it's different places are going to have contests and things like that. So this is going to be rose pink. You guys don't see me really ever use my what are these called? My pro colors. I kind of been thinking, what is this one called? Best Friends. This is Best Friends, Kind of liking the theme of this picture. Now, I saw this one and I think of my other nieces, my cousins Victoria and Gabriella, or me, my other cousins, Mia and Kathleen. The only thing that I don't like about the Pro Colors is that they're really, really soft. Like to me, the Derwent pencils have a sometimes, how shall I call it, a weird texture when I'm laying down color on them. Not that it's bad, it's just some colors are just work weirder than others. As you can see, like when I do my pencils, I have this in here. Forget how many, so you guys can see that I have my set here, here, here. And then these are the duplicate colors that I have over here. You guys can't really see that. Like I put the duplicates here, and then, I have all this room in here, so. But there's a reason why I don't really buy a lot of duplicates right now, and part of that, I think, is the price tag has gotten a little more pricier than it normally would have in the old days. So we got a purple here. This is the Color Pastels. I don't have many of these left, actually. It's funny, I'm running out of my pinks and purples in this set. And someone asked me, would I get the Color Pastels? If I was to get the Colors, I'd wait until I run out of my 180 and do a 240 set. Maybe because then, I would get the pastels with that possibly in there. Someone told me that you could do that and get the pastels in there. I don't know if that's true or not. I see the guy really cut the tree on our lawn that needed cutting. That is an enormous bush. Someone asked me what I would compare these to. These are really nice. Don't get me wrong, I have lots and lots of mermaid books. It's just that I have one particular book that's it's like a poster-sized book. And some of you know that's the Mermaid Legend book by Anastasia Leopold de Wever. I was thinking about that, but then I'm like, you know what? That book is massive in just size. And then, the time it will take to do that is big. I never thought about swatching the Black Widows by Color Family. And I heard a while back that they were going to do some new ones. Oh, and some of you might see my new pink nails. Yes, I got my nails done. I like doing my nails. I know some people have commented on the stream that they have not liked my nails. We will not say who those people are, but so I really like it. The colors on it. I don't know why, but I have a thing for pink nails. Originally had other colors in mind, but now I'm thinking about how the colors work here. I need a little bit more light in this house. So what do you about that, guys? No, now I'm thinking about the red. Primary red. One thing about grayscale is that I love that the shading is already done for you. You really don't have to do a lot of shading. Her eyes to be blue and green. Thing about these the pro colors are really soft, so sometimes I press just a little bit and it breaks. I don't know why, but these are like softer pencils, so take that into consideration when you're buying your pencils. If they're going to be soft. This is the other thing that happens with this. Sometimes I don't know what happens with my pencil sharpener. This one doesn't always like every color. So what happens is we bring out one of these. And then I can get the little thing in there. Little blue in there. Little blue in there. Then we're going to make the eyes green. I love little. I know you guys don't see me use this set too much. So, and I don't really use this as I should. Well, not the green I wanted. It's not bright enough, but that's okay. We can still make it work. I think we will be doing a background to pop it a little bit. Mhm. You know, me and my mother started watching Once Upon a Time again. That was an old Disney um, show, and I loved it. So me and my mother, we just loved the show. I think maybe a background, maybe not. No, I go back and forth sometimes when I'm coloring. If I think a picture needs a background. Right now I'm going back and forth. I haven't really used my pro colors in a while. They're a very good pencil, but they're soft, like my color softs. And I'll tell you, when I first started, I was coloring a lot with my color softs. So I have a lot of duplicates for those pencils. I might start using my color softs a little bit more, my Derwent color softs. No, it's important to vary up your coloring too. I mean, I always am using my Prismacolors a lot. I can see he's doing a lot of planting and butchering. I see he's taking a lot of one of the flower trees. Oh my God, he really is butchering I shouldn't say butchering, he's cutting a lot of the flower trees down. Yeah, we have the landscapers today. A lot is happening, yesterday I was off, and then I had to do this and that. Now I'm thinking yellow. And this is called, Middle Chrome in the Pro Colors. No, everybody's like, well, normally you just color with your Prismas, or your Holbeins, or your Black Widows. To me, I'm like, I color what I feel in the mood to color. I'm not. A lot of what I like to color is based on my mood. And today I wanted to color this. This came in and I was like, I have to color something from this mermaid book. I guess it counts as a, because I haven't colored anything in. And yes, this did come in a little bit before my last stream, so it came on that day. Someone asked me, will I do an Ariel picture? I do not know, but I guess because it's a mermaid, that Ariel counts as the most famous mermaid. I'm thinking pure pink, just to get the colors out of there. Sometimes when I'm done doing a color, I'll put them backwards, just so I know I've used them in a picture. Pink Mater Lake. Oh my, this guy really took a tremendous amount of stuff off of the rose bush. You know, there's a lot of dead things there, so. So, you know, while I'm doing that, I'm also paying attention to what this man is doing. Oh my, he cut so much off. So I guess now we have to do, I was thinking red for that. I don't know why, but I'm thinking red with deep purplish color. This man, he took so much off of the thing, Mom. I'm live streaming, but the man, he took a tremendous amount off that bush already. Just telling you. My mother has to go out there. So this color is called magenta. You know, it's like, it's funny because in the mornings it's really cold and in the afternoons it's really warm here. So, and the term May gray, we have a thing here in California called May gray, where the skies are really gray, and then in June we have gloom. So it's really nice when we get different things in there. You know, I love coloring these creatures. It's so much fun to color mermaids. See, with the pro colors, I can't really do skin color. Some people say you can do skin color with anything, but I prefer to digress on that point. I digress on that point because I need certain colors to do it, and I don't have all those colors in different. This is one advantage of having more than one colored pencil set. You can kind of do what you like with the colors a little bit more. Right now I'm trying to look for my ghost, the Casper as it's called. I have a Casper color, and so what I do is I use the Black Widows for this. But I'll use the light peach and the Prisma as my binding agent. So the one thing I do is I put down my white color first on both ladies, so if I ever go too dark, I have a light base. Someone did the Mermaids green, and I really thought that was interesting that they did the skin tone green. So we have curly head mermaid and we have wavy hair mermaid. We have this color called Ice Cream. And this comes from the Monarch set. I don't know why my mother decided to go into my room. Probably to monitor what this man is doing. You ever go into your books and then you find out that you have actually a lot more unfinished books. You take a really old book out and you're like, oh man, I didn't finish a lot of these pages. And I was taking out Mermaid Legends today. I realized I didn't finish that. I have a lot of whips in that book, actually. I guess from Last Mermaid. My mother's talking to him through the window of my room. How many people are thinking that this needs a blue background? If you do, please raise your hand and say, watch, give me a little fish. If you think it needs a background. I see 4 people in the background. Come on, guys, talk. I love when you guys talk. It's so much fun. It's so much fun when we all talk. Here's Mushroom. I love coloring with these pencils. With these pencils, I go a little lighter. I don't go as hard. Because these are what you call blackwood pencils. Someone asked me, what are the best pencil sharpeners to get? I like things like the half matte and the swordfish. I also like these kind of sharpeners, like the little M&Rs because when the pencils get really tiny, you're not going to be able to put them into the hand crank. So you need things something like this or a simple old-fashioned little sharpener. Right, so then we get the colors coming in from the colorist paint out as you build it. So now I'm going to go into my Prismas. Do my salmon pink, which is a little bit of a brighter color. But I very lightly go through it. There are times I'll go darker with something because maybe I want to highlight them. Doesn't look like I'm putting on a lot of color, but I am. Believe me, I am. It is a very good thing to have your coloring go in there. And I do go to Blix for my supplies. And Amazon for some things. Like if I need a supply right away, then I go to Amazon. But if I need a lot of supplies, then I go to Blix and do an order. Because not having a car, not being able to know how to drive has really been a terrible thing for me because, you know, in New York, you could just hop on a subway or bus and just go everywhere. You know, that's an advantage in New York that I didn't realize how much I would be missing that feature. Now we do beige, and then I'm going to do a thing in there. I really like when I can do the picture and the picture starts to come along and then you see it. You know, when we start, sometimes you don't always see that. I was like, I love seeing pictures come together in a way. And this is beige in the Prismas. Now, beige, light peach, or what you can call colors that are natural blenders. You know, and I am what you call a prancer colorist. I just do what I feel. But I've also watched other colorists and I've kind of learned from other colorists to kind of have a plan. But, you know, when you're going live, you can't really have a plan. You got to be prepared for when things go kapushy and like when we were doing the completed pages a few days ago on April 30th. I think it was April 30th. What is today? May 3rd? So 6 days ago, my computer went blue. I got a blue screen, which is not good. I've had this computer since 2020. And it's been a very good computer most of the time. So. Hello, trash bag fashion lover. How are you today? So now we're gonna go do our blending with light peach. So no, I don't think I'm gonna wear that. I don't think you understand that this is a coloring channel and we mostly color here. I don't think that's an appropriate answer. Robin! I think you might be in the wrong place. This is not a fashion stream. Hey, country. Hey, Misty. How are you? We are coloring from the Color in Heaven's Mermaid special. This is the image by Christine Karen. We have used my Derwent. I think that's what they meant for. It's usually in the Color in Heaven website. It might be out of print. I've been reading a lot. I am actually doing a reread of ACOTAR series. They started that and I got a t-shirt. So next month, when they do the Court of Mist and Fury, we're going to be doing that. We'll be doing that, so. So we used the Color Pastel, we used the Pro Colors, Black Widows, and Derwent Pro. So now what I want to do is something like a tan color. So you put them in family color order, not Oh, really? Hold on, let me get you the link to where you can get that spring issue. Did you try Etsy's Color in Heaven store? Let me go and get you the link for that. So that way you can find it. Let me do the shop. It's called Color in Heaven Presents. I'm getting you the issue, Misty. I tell you right now, here's the problem I have with the tins when I first get the coloring pencil tints. They smell like hell. So I immediately have to put the pencils in a case so they lose that scent real quick. Tins are nice, but Some of the tins are so flimsy. You know, one of the things that I had an issue with was when I got my Holbeins, my first full set of Holbeins, like the full set. The tin they came in was not sturdy at all. I'm like, for that much amount of money that we pay for them, they should have been in a sturdier thing. So, Missy, I'm putting up the link to the. I haven't decided. I haven't decided yet if I'm actually. So that way you can get it. Because sometimes some of these you have to special order, and they're always so much money to order everything. Mhm. Okay, and this color is called Sun Beige, and this is called Apricot. Now, thinking that I don't really like this, but I like these for what they do. And then I have some gel pens. We can put some gel pens too. Oh, I like the orange better. This is a nice apricot color. Someone asked me, would I get the colors again? Absolutely. What's happening now is I'm trying to finish some coloring books up because what has happened is I have started reading a lot of books again. Yes, actual physical books like romance and fantasy, or I think the term now they use for that book. I hope so too, because otherwise you then have to go through third-party sellers. That is a good, solid book. I don't get all the color in heavens. And someone asked me why. I think a lot of that has to do with the price and do they have enough images in it that I want to color? Plus, you know, they're not cheap. They're like I think they come up to like about $18 a piece. That one was like $18. That's what each of these magazines cost if you're not on a subscription. I'll tell you what they cost when I'm on the subscription. When I'm on the subscription, you know, those you buy off, the ones like the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter you buy separately. These tend to go out of print real fast. If you can get it because some of those books go like if you see a color and have an issue that you want. Oh, I used what did I use? Derwent Pro Color Red. I used the Derwent Pro Color for her hair. Same thing for her hair. We used a mixture of different. We used what did we use for the skin? For the skin, I used Black Widows and Prismacolors. I decided I wanted originally to use a Holbein, but because my Holbein is behind all my color in heaven issues, it would take me too long. My duplicate Holbeins to go in there and just do that. Well, the skin tone, I use my Black Widows and my Prismacolors to do the skin. The thing about the Black Widows is that I tell people this all the time. The Black Widows are great for skin tone. And not just the skin tone set. I use the Monarch skin tone, one of the regular sets, the Monarchs, and the skin tone light and dark. But I kind of need the Monarchs, which are kind of like the pastel colors, to do it. The guy is also landscaping right now, and the buzz that you heard is my dryer telling me it finished. So when I'm done with this, I'll have to do some clothes again. I'm hoping to watch some bowling later today. See, I wanted to make this nice and bright. I don't know what blue we're using yet. So I'm thinking that I am going to do a light blue background. These happen to be the Color Pastels. So we're using a couple of different brands. As you can see, some of the Color Pastels are starting to fade. Someone asked me, I would watch it here and there, but it was kind of like if I didn't have the channel that was carrying that at the time, I wouldn't watch it. I've only rewatched some of those stuff, some of the stuff that WWE has allowed back on it. When they had the WWE Network, I would go back and watch it. And this was the way that I got grandfathered into Peacock through the wrestling. So I know, but then I have all the bubbles to do. So I'm thinking we're gonna do that in my colored gel pens. Now, someone asked me, am I gonna get the grabbies? Here's my problem with the grabbies. I think they're gimmicky. Right now, I don't know enough about them. They look really bright on TV, but I have found that when I buy something that isn't my normal thing to buy, and I kind of find the price a little bit high on those grabby gel pens. You know, I've met a few of the WWE stars. I have met Mick Foley, Edge when he was young, Gold Dust, aka Dustin Reynolds. That's Cody Reynolds' big brother. So I've met a few of them over the years. I've met Mick Foley a few times. He is like a genuinely like one of the nicest guys that you will ever meet in real life. I'm thinking I want to do a purple. Like if I'm gonna do a light blue, then I'm thinking a darker color to make this pop. This is like probably what you're gonna do here. So, and I put my King Art pencils with my Crayola pencils for the most part because I decided a long time ago I wanted to do a light blue background. And I may not have the color to do it. That's the problem when you don't have the color to do it. Isn't it? It's so really, really pretty when you do it. So I want to see if I have a color that's not going to die on me. But every color I see here is like, do you want the turquoise green or do you want the blue? Where's blue? I want the light blue. That works actually. This is light blue. So if we do that, then we have to have a dark color come in. So what should we have with the pencils? Now we're going to use gel pens. It is a little hard, but here's the problem. Like when you do that, the problem is I usually, you know what? I wish I had my pastels to do the background and I do not have them out. Problem is I would have to go really high up in my closet to do that. So the pastels are out right now. This would be a good one. I know, right? Pastels are kind of a hard thing for me to use because they're a little bit on the messy side. Plus my pastels are really little. So sometimes I like a pencil more. The pastels are messy. That's why I don't use them. I don't like using them. They're messy. They go all over my hands when I do them. So when I use them, I tend to use them not on screen because I don't have control. There are some people who can do chalk pastels and they do such a beautiful, beautiful job. It's kind of like what they do with distressing. If they're mediums, I don't feel comfortable doing on live stream. I don't do them. That doesn't mean that I won't try. I tried once with watercolor and it was very early on. Here's the thing. Some people have said to me, well, you don't do this, you don't do that. I go, I don't do that because it's not in my, you know, it's not my bread and butter. Some people, that is their bread and butter. They do such a nice job with it. When my pencils get really little, I go on my phone and I make a list of art supplies that I need. Typically, I wouldn't do this thinking that see, there are some people who can do that. My mother is. See, and here it says C.H. Karen, and I like that she put her name on the image. I like to do this, and then we'll see which. Isn't this a nice image? You know, a lot of people want Christine. My niece's color. How's that for you? So when they're here next week, I printed out stuff for them to color. So printed out some stuff for them to color. So as time goes on, I color with them. I don't think she does. So what they do is I print out a bunch of stuff that I know that they will like to color. I think it's important when you color to make sections. When they're here and if they finish it, I keep it and then I show you guys at the end of the month like I did, what did I do? Last month I did that? I didn't show you everything. They had like easels and painters, but I don't know where my mother put their easels and stuff. And then someone, over here, you can donate stuff. Like, so what I'm going to do with my reading books is if there's something that I don't like to read, I will just put it in the donation bag. I've already started a donation bag. I've already put 2 books in there that I didn't really particularly like that I read. And I'm putting them in a donation bag so that way then I can give them to savers. Maybe because I don't like that, the subject or something like that, maybe somebody else might like those books and then you can give them away and they're much cheaper. Savers will sell them cheaper than the normal retail price, but Like, oh, out here we have a Savers that opened up. That's like it's a new thrift store. I wasn't going to do a background, but I feel like this picture needs it. Do you mean digital or print? I'm not really sure, but it's still a lot. So, of the 15 books that I aim to finish this year, I've only finished one. What I do is I put everything on an Excel sheet, and that's the number, but that number is always changing because sometimes something will be finished or not in there. A lot of my coloring books I'm not going to keep. That's the other thing you have to remember too. When you're low on space, you have to try and remember, what do you really want to keep? Did you enjoy the pictures? If you enjoyed it, yeah, that's fine. But will you be keeping it for anything? It's like, when I finished that, the fairy tales book from Emily Lydhall Oberg, I'm not keeping that one. It's just not a book that, to me, I don't really like the pictures enough to keep them. Plus, it takes up a lot of space. Same thing with the 300 Mandalas book. If I ever finish that one, I'm not keeping it. And the other thing that I did, Misty, and you might want to do this, get yourself a tin. You know what you do? Here's what you do. Number one, go through your Christmas and Halloween books. Put your Christmas books in a tin. Put your Halloween books in a tin. And that'll free up some room on your shelves. The other thing is, when you're going through it, see what you really want. That's the other thing. See what you really want and what you don't want. And if you haven't colored in the books and you don't want the book, do what I do. Go to a Goodwill or a Savers and give them there. There's plenty of things to do like that. It frees up so much room on your shelves when you put away your Christmas and your holiday books, Misty. At least that's what it did for me. And then I could see what I had a lot clearer because I found a lot of some Demeter Victoria books I had forgotten about. There's also some Selena Finette books I forgot about. So there was a lot of things in my closet that I had not remembered that I had. You know who else has a lot of mermaids? Hannah Lynn has two Maui mermaids. So she has mermaids. And I think Hannah Lynn is in this actually. My God, he did so much to landscape already. I already see it, guys. Right, Mom? He cut all that stuff of it. I don't know. Depends on what kind of tins you have. Depends on how long you keep them, I have a tin with my Copic markers, and I use that tin a lot because the reason why I put my Copic markers in tins, but I also had, what are they, the little marker holders that I used for my, that I had from some of my cheaper stuff. You know, guys, that I still have the old Copic marker refills, so. This is Derwent Pro Colors. So these are like the upgraded version of my color source. In my opinion, I think they are a lot like the color source, except they're just a much better quality pencil. Oh, I still have my color source, don't get me wrong. And I still have my fine liners and my stuff like that, but I don't really take that out. Probably gonna have to put this in there. Yeah, you could buy the refills, right? Someone asked me what is the best places to buy the refills. Well, there's really, for me, there's only 3 stores really that I like to go to for Copic refills. Those are Blix. Blix is like the best overall to get your stuff, right? Too bad I don't have another one of these. I might have to put this on the list. Everything has gone up in price, though. That's the problem. These are like now, I think, what are they like now? These have gone up to like about 2 something, I think, for if you want to do another pencil. Soon it's going to be like you have to buy all new sets because the sets might end up being cheaper than buying individual pencils. So what I do is like I go every 3 or 4 months, I buy some new pencils and art supplies. The reason I do that is because at that point I'm starting to run low on certain things, and as I go on inventory, I know what I need, what I don't need. So, and it was funny because the other day I was going through something. One of the months I went through one of my stuff, I think sometime last year, and I found that I had like a whole bunch of Prismacolors, dupes of Prismacolors. I had forgotten I had done this. One of the things I had a lot of duplicates was the light peach pencil. I had a lot of them that I got. And someone asked me, do I like the new 2 colors that Prismacolor replaced? You know what? They're not bad. They're close enough to what the old colors were anyway. So some pencils are going to be more money. Some pencils are going to be less money. Here's the thing. Artist pencils are artist pencils. So doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just that the quality is different. I haven't used my Pro Colors in a really long time, and these were gifted to me originally. So now, that's not to say they're not. There's some disadvantages to the Derwents, and one of the disadvantages is that they don't work on all paper. Like glossy paper, I find for like my colorist books and the glossy page books, and what I mean is like when people give you that nice glossy paper, like the Hannah Lynn Artist Edition ones with the spiral bound and that different paper. Some people use color pencils on them, and I find that they don't work very well in those books. I find that markers work better, like the Michael Jelenka books, the Color It ones, or the old Color Ya books. I find that markers work better on that paper. That's not to say that you can't use pencils, but that's just the way they are. I know, and what is this color? I thought this was just a stunning color. This is light blue. I was concerned that I wasn't going to have enough, that this pencil wasn't going to last me long. But I didn't even put a lot of pressure on this. And you guys know that I'm what they call a hard presser. Thought we might run out of it. And it's funny because I have a blue little flag here, or page marker. And to me, mermaids are live in the sea, so I just felt like this page is taking us a little. There's lines, you just don't see it in the video. The other way that someone told me you avoid lines is that you color it circular. The other thing I learned too is when you go to another medium, I found when I went from the first time I went from pencils to markers, and then I went back from markers to pencils, I found that, and I learned the tip about the circles from the markers, is that your hand imprint changes. Markers teach you some things. I've learned markers teach you a couple of things I learned from coloring markers. Go circular, go lighter, because when you do full hard, or when you go full on hard, sometimes you can press too hard and break the page. So, or you leave too much of an indent. And now there's so many mermaid books and so many mermaid pictures. Mermaid pictures work really well. Misty, Robin. So I am reading Carrie for the horror book club. I already read Quicksilver, so that's Romantasy for May 19th meeting. Normally would be the last Monday of the month, but because it falls on a Memorial Day, they decided to move up that, so that was already done. Then I'm also for the fantasy club. We're reading Court of Mist and Fury this month. Well, there's certain things you can use it, like you see how I use the gel pens for this, for the little purple dots. And I guess this can count for Color Your Hoard too for May, because this is the first picture that I have officially colored. So yeah, it is actually Color Your Hoard, May Color Your Hoard 2025. So what did we use? We used Derwent Pro Colors, Black Widows, Color Pastels, and Prismas, and a Color It gel pen. Now, I'll tell you, one of the things that I love about Color It gel pens is they sell the refills. They come, when you buy them, they come in a case like this. So you don't have to buy the case for them. They come with the refill. If you buy the complete 96 set, they come in the case. They give you the first set of gel refills. That's okay. So one of the things that I like about the Color It gel pens, Misty, yeah, they are pricey when you first buy them, but here's the thing. You get a full set of 48 plus the 48 refills. They give you the first set of refills. Plus, they come with this. A lot of times you're stuck buying a case. You buy gel pens and then you're stuck buying a case. A lot of gel pens don't give you refills. So I overall think that Color It is a very friendly company. I love that set from Color It. So we did, according to my thing, we used Pro Colors, Prisma Colors, Derwent Pro Colors, Black Widows, and Prismas on this. So This tells you what you could do. And this one was what is this one called? This one is called, yeah, there's a couple of different artists in this one. So this one was called Best Friends by Christine Karen. This is Jellyfish. So the first, you see, this is what else is in this one. And this is a subscription issue. This is Jana Prazovina. So when we get to a new one, I'll tell you. Somebody said they wanted a brief flip. I love color it so much. But I'm not getting the grabbies because I think they're pricey. This is the Mermaid special. This is 48. There's some nice ones in here. This is the Old Mermaid, the Sea Sorcerer. Daria Kakosoi. She used to be known as Coloring Chicks. These are grayscale too. Someone said to me, you can't color grayscale in pencil. I don't think that's true anymore. This one is, what is this one? Michael Dashout. That's a cute little pinup version of a mermaid. I've never heard of Michael Dashout. See, so sometimes you get people in here that you've never even seen. I've never seen this guy before, so. Then this one is. Oh, this one is a Grazia Salvo mermaid. So the next ones are Grazia Salvo. I've never seen her do mermaids before. Oh, this is T. Fallon, aka Dorian Addict. She has had an issue or two and a few appearances in Other Color in Heavens. I almost thought about doing this one for the stream. This one almost tempted me. Jennifer Zimmerman. So if you guys, this is part of my subscription, so Jennifer Zimmerman. We all know who this is. This is Hannah Lynn. Hannah Lynn. This is one of the very iconic ones, and I've done this a couple of different ways, this picture. This one is a new one. I have not seen this one yet. Sometimes I like when I see some new images from them. Hannah Lynn. Oh, she's got a boy. I don't see male mermaids too often. Who's this one? Matt Davison. Now, Matt Davison is the husband of Dawn Davison. If you're not familiar with Dawn and Matt, you really should be because they do some beautiful, beautiful artwork. Matt Davison did a coloring book a few years ago called Sirens. This one is May Mapalad. I've never heard of May Mapalad. So these are new. These are kind of cute. This is Michael Jelenka. I have not seen that one before. I love when I see someone new. Some new stuff. Some of this is new to me. These I may have to do in marker. Oh, this comes from the woman. This is Nelk Schumacher. She also goes by Hollow Moon Art. Her pictures are, when we say adult coloring, I mean, these go really, her art goes really adult. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. Her art is very adult. And I'm not even kidding. When I say adult, I mean adult. Oh, this is someone that I don't see too much from them. This is Zed Von Zed. That is the last page. So that comes from Zed Von Zed, who does a lot of different kind of girls, like not your typical girls. I didn't know that she does a mermaid every once in a while. That's good. I'm surprised they didn't have any Deborah Mueller here because she does a lot of mermaids. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So I gave you a special little flip. Yeah, I know. Like this was the one that I really wanted to do because when they were doing the preview, this was the picture that got me interested. Like I just, because I'm on subscription, I also have kind of an idea what to do. But if you're thinking about this magazine, Misty, my honest to God advice is buy a subscription. Number one, if you get a subscription, it comes out much cheaper every month. I mean, yeah, what they do is now they offer you can either get a 3-month subscription, a 6-month subscription, or a year subscription. Now the year is really expensive. I do a 3-month subscription and the books come out to about $12 a month. Now, if you're buying the individual books, they're about $18 a month. So some people, what they do is they look at what the issue is going to be and be like, oh, I'm going to get that one because I like that one. I may not like all my subscription issues. Sometimes I get issues and I'm like, I scratch my head and go, what is this? This is not my typical thing. Like when I got that Ava Brown one, what was it? The Garden Gnomes one? I'm like, at first I did not like that book, but that book grew on me. Because you pay for the 3 months up front and then you do that. It's a lot better. But here's the thing, you don't get the specials. Like you don't get the spring special. You don't get the annuals. They have a Mandela magazine now. You don't get that on subscription. So there are certain things you don't get. Like when you get the subscription, you'll get the regular, like you get the Color in Heaven. Things you don't get those. And you don't get the compendiums. You have to buy the compendiums. So there's things you don't get. Like you don't get the spring one. You don't get the annual one. You know what I mean? You don't get the compendiums. The compendiums you have to buy yourself. So just keep that in mind if you're going to buy the magazine. I think Color in Heaven personally really works as a subscription. I like the issues. I like what they give me most of the time. But, everybody's different. Some people like to buy them individually because they go, well, I don't want to commit to buying this. So, you know what I mean? You get a lot of, plus this is a way to find artists. Ines Guerrero, the way they discovered Ines Guerrero was through this. And this is one that I'm currently working on. This is a Ring Sundini. And you get this through her Etsy store. And this is under the Monarch Underwater Fantasy 2025. So that is the one that I did. So I guess this would be considered my, will you consider this my Color Your Hoard for May? Like this one is considered a bumper issue. Like sometimes they give you one artist and go, oh, we're giving you 40 issues. Like, when they give you the Christmas issue and the Halloween, now it's different artists. So in some way, I love getting the Christmas and the Halloween issue because they're my favorites. See, and this one is pretty too. I did this one. I started this one last night. This is a Ring Sundini, and I call it Denny. A lot of us call it Denny. I just have to do the skin tone on here and then I'm done. So I think we're going to end the stream now. So I hope you all have enjoyed the stream. I have as well. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everybody.